Fortnite Chapter 5 introduced us to a brand new faction in the society, and there are 5 different members, and they all want the 0 point. So today we're going to dive deeper into the lore behind these characters, what brought them here, and why they are part of the society, and why they want the 0 point. Well, before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe so we can hit our goal of 500 subs. So let's start with Peter Griffin. He was brought to the island by Meowscles. And before he was brought to the island, he drank this super steroid slurp juice, which gave him so many muscles. And he must have immediately joined the society right after that. Now, considering that Meowscles was here, it was pretty interesting. Because as we know, Chapter 5 is an alternate version of Chapter 2 since it came directly after Chapter 1. Therefore, it must be a separate version of Chapter 2. We know this because of the plane that crashed on the Chapter 5 island as well, just like Chapter 2. So we know that the continuity goes directly from Chapter 1 to Chapter 5 and doesn't include any of the other chapters. And this has me to believe that Meowscles is trying to replace himself with Peter Griffin in this alternate timeline. Considering that Meowscles was there in Chapter 2 Season 2, he's going to send Peter Griffin in Chapter 5. And looking at the other characters, the sort of continuity between Chapter 5 and Chapter 2 starts to make sense. When we go to Monu, or whatever that diamond guy's name is pronounced, we notice that he is completely made out of diamonds. One of his edit styles completely made out of diamonds. And you might be thinking, do we have a character from the past who also turned themselves into an insanely valuable material? Well, yes, Midas had the curse of the golden touch, where everything he touched turned to gold. He could turn himself completely golden. So I have a feeling that Monu here is the same version as Midas. He's the same type of character as Midas. He's one of the an alternate version of this character. He just has diamonds rather than the gold. And he found the society just like Midas found a ghost. And he also has a yacht just like Midas has a yacht. So the similarities between these characters is so similar. Now, let's move on to Oscar the Tiger. Now, you could say that he is Brutus, but I believe in this alternate timeline, he's just a completely different character. I mean, look at him. He is a tiger. But for some reason, I feel like Oscar is a different version of Meowscles, and that Peter Griffin was sent in to replace him because Meowscles' alternate version in this timeline, he became the boss of the society. And that's not supposed to be the case. So, Monu and Peter Griffin are probably going to have to take this guy down. Because even though Monu was the one who founded the society, for some reason, the big cat brawler Oscar himself is now, for some reason, the boss of it. So we think that there might have been some coup within the society that put Oscar. You might think that the theory of a coup is pretty far-fetched. Well, look no further than Oscar's lobby track. He basically confesses to the entire crime right then and there. Just have a listen.
I came out on top, I got my hands dirty, man know that I'm sorry, these man can't hurt me, bang out on the truth.
Woohoo! Getting to the top by getting your hands dirty, going after the people that are trying to uncover the truth. Jeez, Oscar, your lawyer is gotta be very, very busy. Wasn't enough to convince you? Then what about this loading screen of Monu running away from the society? Why would he be running away from the society? I don't know. This is pointing to one thing, is that there was definitely a coup in which Oscar the Tiger assumed power illegally and is clearly the main villain of this story. Next, we're going to talk about Valeria. Valeria is a very interesting character in this season's Battle Pass. She has this emote where she can spontaneously change her clothes using fire powers from black to white and vice versa. Her main POI is Reckless Railways, and she appears to have control over the train station and appears to manage all of the train facilities and whatnot, considering her close proximity to the train station. I mean, who else would be managing it? Every other character is pretty busy except her. Well, that is when she's not studying and learning about things, because in her loading screen, it showed her learning about everything, because she says, knowledge is power, and I intend to know everything. And in the background, we can see the 0 point with John Jones. So we know that she's learning about the 0 point, since earlier I discussed that the society really wants the 0 point and that she's trying to find out as much about it as she can. But she's hitting kind of a roadblock here. You know how whenever you're going down a deep, dark rabbit hole and trying to find out information and you just can't find it out, but you know someone who knows, well, she was probably the one who recommended the society to kidnap John Jones. It's probably the one who told Oscar the Tiger, hey, we need to kidnap John Jones now. So Oscar went and kidnapped him. Well, she's probably the one interrogating him, considering that Peely's been all over the place. He's been over at that fencing fields place. We'll talk about Nisha later. And he's also been at Oscar's relentless retreat. So, off camera, who knows? He's more than likely over at Reckless Railways at some point, being interrogated by Valeria over knowledge about the 0 point. Or being interrogated about Jones's whereabouts so she can find Jones and, well, learn about the 0 point from him. So, last but actually least, we're going to be talking about Nisha. We know, incredibly useless, right? Well, yeah, there's not really much to say about her except that she controls the wine production on the map, and she comes from a long legacy of sword-wielding people. That's basically it. Alright, anyway, just subscribe if you want to so we can reach our goal of, well, more subs, and I will see you in the next one.